Hey, JD here, 701 Nation. How's everybody doing tonight? A little Saturday night special here. Guns and sausage. Got my buddy Brian Wanner on here from Dickinson. How you doing, Brian?
Doing all right. Good to be with you.
Hey, man, appreciate Brian. Come on with me short notice. Glad you did, Brian. Appreciate it. Otherwise, everybody just been bored listening to me talk about gun shit for an hour. But
well, I can't say I'm going to please them all.
I appreciate you getting on. What do you think of my bumper music there that I changed up?
Oh, I like it. It gives you a little time to breathe a little bit when you're trying to find it on YouTube or whatever. It's not so long that you get bored. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Somebody told me it was a real banger, so I kept it,
It works for me.
All right. Hey, Josh, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you getting on. Just talking to Brian a little bit before the show here about the brain bucket. Hopefully, he sounds like him and Mama Joe. Just you and Mama both planning on coming if you can make it.
Hopefully, both of us. Like awesome. I said, she shoots better than me. So if I plan on bringing the winnings to the house, I got to have her shoot.
Yeah. Well, hey, you can get that barrel threading too. So if you got any rifles or pistols that need a threading?
Oh yeah, yep, definitely.
Okay. Well, hey, better. I'm actually going out to Axis tomorrow. I'm going to check my zero, make sure I'm on, and do a little cheating there and check my zero before next Saturday on you guys.
I probably should do that too. It seemed to be on during deer season, but yeah. That'll be my luck. I'll go out there and whiff one out, and you guys can all laugh.
Well, I did that during the Coyote Challenge, and if you saw that, the Coyote Steel Challenge, I didn't even hit it because I left the ranch the day before at my dad's, and I shot like 3 groups at 300. I'm like, there's no freaking way I can miss. Yeah, guess what? I did.
Yeah, you can still miss.
Yeah.
Usually, it's not the gun's fault.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't for sure. It was a misjudgment on my part for sure. Kelsey Glauser. Can I say it? Fucking go, boys. I mean, there's probably going to be a few F-bombs tonight. It's Saturday night. So, okay. Hey, I think he's going to be there too. He said he's got a brand new AR. He's going to come up from, where is he there? West of Fargo. I think he said he's going to come up and show us up and go back with a handful of money. And
nice.
We'll see. I mean, I like his attitude. I'm going to say good luck, but
we're
going to have fun either way, right? Josh says, I'm planning on coming out. Still looks like I'll make it. The boy won't make it as he has a game in Belfield that day. All right. Well, Josh, appreciate you coming out, buddy. Like I said, Clay and I got something for you too. So, and Brian's got to come up and get his cap. So, we're gonna do that. So, Brian, I told you before the show, I got to do something here. Okay. Right? When I was on with Todd Friday, Todd actually bought me a couple of 50 cal shot glasses. Got the Second Amendment on here. It's hard to see and I can tell you, I'm not going to take a whole shot of this thing. That is a 50 cal, but I told Todd when I was going to, if I did the live, I was going to, man, even 4.5 of this thing seems like a free ball. I don't know if I'm gonna, and I told him I was doing fireball. So, Gene says post a video. I think he's talking about the brain bucket challenge. Yep, Gene, we are going to video it for sure. And it's going to be fun. It sounds like we're going to have quite a few people there, Brian. But I'm going to try. Maybe I'll just sip on this on the side instead of crushing it. How's that?
That sounds good. Looks like it's damn near.
Oh, wait a minute. That tasted pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks, Todd. It works great. So, all right, Brian, we're going to hit on some gun stuff tonight. And obviously, Brian, why don't you give people a little background? Your dad owned your art, right? Is that your dad's name, if I remember? Because I think it was almost a year ago I had you and your dad on.
It's pretty close because it was right. Yeah, it was. I think it was right around the first of the year last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
so go ahead and give everybody a little background on that, if you would.
So years ago, when my dad retired from job service, he farmed and retired and worked at job service, and he was in the National Guard for 35 years, and he decided to get out of it. And he and his cousin Edwin started up the Wurst Shop in Dickinson, just a little hole in the wall, and figured they were going to make sausage 3 days a week and have this nice little retirement job. And well, it grew into quite a business by the time it was said and done. Well, then as time went on, Edwin actually sold out of it first. And then the guy that Edwin sold out to ended up buying Dad out too later on. So he's been out of it now for probably, it must be 8 or 10 years already that he's been out of it. So I spent some time helping there at the shop, but most of my butchering experience comes from just being at home at the farm. We did everything at home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing this all our lives, and that's kind of how things have gone. And I was working and had a decent job, so I wasn't in any shape to take over the butcher shop. So kind of got out of it, and that's where we are now. So we've gone back to doing everything at the farm again.
And butchering's, that's not an easy job to do, really, working in a meat shop, is it? I mean, it's a pretty physical job.
Oh yeah, it's the cold all the time, and just everything's not. It's not that everything is terribly heavy, but it's awkward. You stand in awkward positions. You got to move things around. You're lifting off the floor, over your head, all kinds of stuff.
And your dad's not a spring chicken when how old is your dad now?
He'll be 82 in March.
Okay, so he retired when he was in his 70s. So
yeah.
Which my dad's 72, 73, I think. Yeah, he's gonna be. He's still farming. So he's got aches and pains, but I'm like, yeah, most guys your age wouldn't be out here jumping off tractors, and he'll get on the hood of the grain truck sometimes and jump off, and I'm like, Dad, and he lands. What? And I'm like, never mind, I forgot. Josh Patterson says, right on, sounds good. I'm bringing the boys' rifle, so hopefully I can hit it with his rifle. That's a 6.5 Creedmoor, I believe. Waylon Turnus, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining in. Hey, my mom, Paul Odegaard, let's make some Wurst. Oh yeah, which we're gonna do the night Brian is not. Brian's he's a big gun guy too. The night you're doing your banquet for, what is it, Brian? That you're associated with there?
Slope Area Rifle and Pistol Club is the gun club and range that we're involved in here in Dickinson. We're actually north of town. We're up by Mandan, so we're in Dunn County. But
so the 7th, you guys are having your banquet, right?
Yep. We have our annual. We have our annual banquet, and we've got a contest, I guess, that we're involved in.
Yeah, you can maybe get your hands on some freedom rods with a kind of a
donation. If you buy, there's like a choice of probably 4 of them if you're lucky enough. So
I'll tell you what, you bring those if you come up to the, if you get to the brain bucket, you can go and bring those along.
Yeah, I will. I'll bring a couple books.
The night you're doing that, the 7th, we're making sausage actually at my place that night, and Saturday we're smoking it. So, greetings from the Black Hills with Clay and Eric. Hey, guy, how's the fishing going down there? Anyways, what kind of fish you guys catching down at Pectola? Kelsey Glaser, Cajun, and I don't know how to say that in Cajun. What is that word?
Andoli.
Okay.
I don't know how to make it, but I know what it is. I've eaten it.
Hey, hey, Dad, your daughter's watching. Appreciate it. Awesome. So did you make your sausage? You did, right? You said you made it already.
Yep. Our friends are the people that we hunt with, butcher with. We do everything with. We made sausage over the weekend. Both families did. So we made 630 pounds of sausage that we put up over the weekend.
That's a good pile of sausage right there. Yep. How many people was that you were making it with you?
There was probably 20 of us helping. The kids were all
home. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, my son was home from Nebraska for the first time, ever to butcher with us. And my buddy, his kids were there, and then he had some nieces and nephews there, and we just had a good time.
Awesome. So just one quick check. Hey, if you guys can hear us both real good, let me know. If not, I can turn one of us up or turn one of us down. So if everything's okay, somebody give us a thumbs up or something. Or just like to check that I can hear Brian good. So I just want to know. But I have a loud, overpowering voice the way it is. But when I got the headset on, it's even. I turned myself down earlier. But so, what'd you do with your sausage, Brian? Do you make it? Do you put cheese or anything in, or do you make it all? You make it all just straight sausage, or what do you do?
It's all straight sausage. We did experiment with some jalapeno this year because my buddy cans and has jalapenos all the time that he raises. Mm-hmm. So we actually did. I think it ended up being about 50 pounds. With jalapenos in them, which are really good. It's good in the casing smoked, and it's also good in the bags just as bulk sausage to fry. Yeah. So that turned out really good. But otherwise, we made our country style sausage in casings. We made a bunch of sausage in bags to fry up for biscuits and gravy and whatever. Made summer sausage. We make a bologna. That's kind of been our special recipe that Dad didn't even sell that at the shop. So we made a batch of bologna for us, and then my buddy liked it so much he made a batch too. So, and then we made some little breakfast links, which are a pain in the ass because you got to use the casings. Or we actually started using the collagen casings, and they work a lot better for those little breakfast links. So, but yeah, that's kind of what we did.
So did you use the collagen for your regular sausage too? Because I know when I talked to you and your dad said that's all they use, and that kind of put me over the top to use it. And I got to say, he was right on. That was way easier to use that.
We still use the natural hog casings when we did our sausage.
Yeah, we did that with my daughters when she got her deer down at Clayton's place for youth. But yeah, we're definitely going. I tell you what, the only thing the negatives I would say about them collagen ones, like when you pinch them and twist them, they break easier. Number one, and when you put your smoker in, they don't hang down; they hang it like a roof, so you can't. I can notice you couldn't get as much in the smoker.
Yeah, but they're kind of just like Slim Jims, but now they're thicker because now you're 1.5 inches thicker.
Yep. And then what I did like though is when you boil them, some people maybe don't like this, but you can peel that sucker right. And I always almost exclusively boil my sausage because to me it tastes better. I know a lot of people are like, boil them? What? I always grill it. And I'm like, try boiling it, man. It's right. And a lot of times I don't do this with my wife because she's like heavy anti-plastic, and I'll boil it right in the bag, Brian, and you can clean that pan up. So, and to me, that flavor stays in there real good. And I've been doing that, and it's I love doing it.
We always cook it in water, even if we do grill it. I like to cook it in water first, just because it's kind of like doing brats,
Yeah. You did you ever cook them like in the bags on the grill? Because I always thought they got dry on the grill. Have you ever just put them in those like grill bags and sealed them up and did it that way?
I never have. No,
I bought some. I'm going to try that because I don't know that I mentioned that to somebody and they're like, you should try that. And
as long as you keep it in the bag, it would keep the moisture in it then, so it probably wouldn't get as dry.
Right.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
No, and as far as cheese goes, I don't mind cheese in summer sausage, but cheese isn't my favorite in regular country style sausage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really missing anything by not having cheese in there.
Right.
If I want cheese, I'll have cheese noodles with my sausage.
I saw you posted. You had a picture of that on your Facebook. Oh yeah, man, that looks good too. I love doing that. Hey, Tom Danson. Hey, from Layton, Iowa, Lawton, Iowa. Hey, thanks for coming. 18 wheels and a dozen 6-shooters. He's tuning in. Appreciate you, buddy. Everybody says we're sounding good here, Brian. So let's go back and get a few of these.
That's actually my son's father-in-law, Tom.
Okay. Levi Wanner. Hell yeah, it turned out great. He said.
Yep, that's my son from Nebraska.
All right. Hey, is he a big Red fan or big Nebraska Cornhuskers guy then?
He is now.
Sounds good, Josh Patterson. Thanks. Gene Cox says, I like good smoked pork sausage, basic garlic powder, salt, and pepper with cure. Yeah, Gene, my dad does that. I actually buy the pre-mixed stuff now. I know that's kind of weak. Brian, what do you do for your sausage mix?
Same thing everybody else does. It's just, the thing is, everybody thinks sausage is way more complicated than it is. You got to realize that this is all stuff that our ancestors made 100 years ago, and they didn't have a whole cupboard full of spices. They literally had salt, pepper, garlic, sugar, same stuff that we all use today.
Yep. My dad still does it. I think my dad actually weighs it. He doesn't use a quarter cup or whatever. I think he weighs his. Which I
Dad
a lot of people do.
We used to do a lot of it by handfuls. My grandpa would season things as we went, but Dad actually took and wrote down the recipes where everything is in ounces. Then we use one of those little scales, and it's a hell of a lot easier to cut. Some of his recipes from the shop are for 1,000 pounds. Well, if you want to cut them down to make a 25-pound batch, when you got to do cups and quarter cups, I was pretty decent at math, but some of them fractions get pretty little when you get that far down.
Maybe that's why I like it. I like it pre-mixed. I didn't math very well. It was a lot better in history. So, Eric Newman asked if they were catching down there at Lake Pectola, him and Clayton. Trout, northern, and bluegill. Nothing big, but had fun and outfished Clay. LOL. Never got any Lakers like we went for. I think you meant lunkers. Okay, well, whatever, man. I mean, you got some good eaters at least, right?
When you outfish your buddy, it doesn't matter what else happens, right?
Right.
Bragging rights are better than eating fish.
Bragging rights, man. That is Dan Brown. Good evening, Dan. Appreciate you. Yeah. Kelsey Goddard says, bag on the grill works, brother. I appreciate that. Awesome. And Kelsey, he's a grilling man, too. He was jacked up when he heard we were doing the sausage and guns. I know a lot of people were sending me texts. America, it is America, right? I mean, pretty much built on sausage and guns.
Your dad's going to drive.
Good.
That's Brian's wife right there, if anybody see. That's Mama Joe right there. Tell her to say hi.
Oh, you got to come over and say hi, Joe. Dip way down.
Hi. Gene Cox says, air fryer for 12 minutes at 350. Don't pop the case. Okay. I don't think I've ever done that in an air fryer.
We made ours in the air fryer once. The only thing Joe doesn't like, it's a little saltier when you do that because you don't cook any of the salt out in the water.
Oh, man, I love it when it's salty. So
I do too, but
I'm kind of a salty bastard. But
sounds like Dad's going to get on in the chats.
Awesome. Is he at your house?
No, he just called Joe.
I was going to say, shit, I totally forgot about that. He could have, more. I apologize for not helping him get on here. Go Huskers. There you go. Levi says, right. Hey, my Uncle Dean. Hi from San Diego. Hi, Uncle Dean. Appreciate you jumping on. Uncle Dean knows all about measuring out his own stuff, too. And actually, my cousin's husband there, they own Capital City Restaurant Supply here. That's right. I buy my spices there. I mean, I put a little extra stuff in there, too, but for the most part.
So are you, when you make sausage, are you using the Bourne spices that they have?
That's exactly what we use. Yep.
Yeah, that's straight Bourne from Richardson. That was his sausage. Yep.
Yeah, I've never been disappointed in that. I mean, guys at work, because some of them are using it now too. So yeah, that stuff is, for premix, man, it's tough to beat that. I actually tried to talk myself into changing this year, and I'm like, you know what? I love it. My kids love it. And my buddies, I'm not going to go ahead and screw with anything. And
Bourne sold a lot of sausage in Bridgerton, so you're not using something that isn't tried and true. That's for sure.
yeah. Any sausage you get out of Western North Dakota, I don't know that I've had any bad stuff on it. Like you say, everybody over there kind of does the same. The smoke's a little.
Yep, that's what it is. The smoke is a little different. Some of the a little more salt, a little less salt, a little more garlic, a little less garlic, whatever. But, for the most part, it's pretty basic spices.
I always got to thump my chest. My buddy's friends with the guy who used to own Cloverdale, and he might still own it, but he's like, well, I don't know what your buddy does. What's his technique for smoking it? Because this stuff is freaking unbelievable. And I'm like, I'll take that from the guy who owns I said, tell him I freaking eat Cloverdale summer sauce.
Right.
Gene Cox says, I just want to know who thought up using the beef bung to stuff the head cheese into.
As far as I know, it used to be the pork stomach is what you always used for that.
Yeah, but, I might eat some beef bung. I don't know about it, but I wouldn't purposely eat that.
Nobody wasted anything. That's for damn sure.
Right. Yeah. I guess, it's hot. No matter how hungry you get, you'll probably eat damn near. You're just like an old coyote, right? You chew on. Paul Odegaard, great guest. Love the sausage tips. There. All right. And actually, Brian, my mom and I lived in Dickinson for about a year there when I was a very young lad. So
that's what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't remember it much, but I'll take ownership of it. I like Dickeyville. It's always Dickeyville.
We'll take you as a partial local.
A partial resident. Yeah. I'm not an illegal. I come there legally, so we're good. Waylon Turner says, great place. Brent Scott sounded good. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate the input you guys giving us that for everybody just checking the sound check. So Brian, when you smoke now, I know you sent me that video. You got kind of a unique smoker there, don't you?
So that was I was actually making Slim Jims for the first time when I sent you that video. So I bought one of those little Bradley smokers, little 6-rack smokers, and uses those little hardwood pucks, they call them, or biscuits, I think they're called.
They taste great.
Only thing is, I'm not a mesquite person. Mesquite is too heavy of a smoke for me, or too bold of a smoke, maybe.
Gotcha.
So the first ones we made with mesquite, and I was not impressed. Well, then the second ones we bought a hickory apple biscuits, and those were by far.
Oh, they just meld them both together. You don't even got to do.
Yep, okay. I don't know. There's got to be something in there, some kind of paste or something that holds it together. But it's kind of neat because you drop them in there and it just feeds them in as they go.
You put in a hamburger,
right? And then they drop in and they fall into a little water bowl in the bottom.
Oh, Froze up. There you go. You're back. You froze
10
up on me
pounds of
for a
Slim
second.
Jims took about 6 hours to do, but it's kind of labor intensive, but they turned out really well. We made beef and then we made elk. My buddy had some elk meat, so we made elk sticks, and they were
How
good.
many pounds of Slim Jims did you make?
Well, we've all together now we've made 40, but I make them 10 pounds at a whack in that smoker.
Right,
I can actually get about 15 in there.
You're right, because doing Slim Jims, like the first time I ever did them, Brian, we were running them out of the stuffer, and I was looking at it like, holy shit, I'm going to be here forever.
Right. When you see on that one stick of collagen casings that 10 pounds fits in there, I thought, holy shit, are you serious? 10 pounds fits in there.
Yeah, I was going to do it myself, and then luckily my buddy Wyatt showed up, because I was like, oh shit. And he showed up, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm really glad you're here.
Well, and then I found out, too, that Slim Jims is a little bit drier because there's not really any fat in it, right?
Yep.
So you got to throw a little bit of water in there, otherwise you blow the seal right out of your damn stuffer when you try to run into those little casings.
So when you did the Slim Jims, how long did you smoke those to get them done?
They were about 6 hours in that little Bradley.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but what do we got here? Kelsey Glauser says, went max headroom on us for a second, brother. Yeah, you did. That's what I said. You were like frozen. You came back. Like, no, I got the Slims. I got 40 pounds of something. Yeah, that high pitched voice wasn't matching Brian's side. He's a large American. So max headroom. Boy, I haven't heard that one in a while, right?
Right.
But your sausage smoker, you got like your what do I want to say, your wood pot or whatever is downhill, right? And you got a tube that runs up.
Well, that's how my grandpa's is set up now. We're using my buddy's down at his place because the place he bought had one on. So it's an old 100-year smokehouse, Now that one has the firebox in the back, but the same concept. Mm-hmm. You have the little fire in the back, and then it's just huge. I mean, we had all that sausage in there. We still had plenty of room.
Man. So like if I use if I use natural casings, I can smoke probably about 90 pounds and get a pretty good smoke on it. Mm-hmm. But when I use the collagen casings, I mean, I got to go probably, 70s pushing the limits. Because I don't like it if you don't, you get it, you know what I mean? If you get it in there and they're all touching, you can't get it. If you smoke 40 pounds compared to 70, you can dial your smoking way better on that 40. I mean, my experience anyways.
Yeah. What do you think? And with you're using heat. So, I mean, you want to make sure that you're getting it all the way around. Otherwise, you're going to have hot spots and cold spots in your sausage,
Yeah.
You'll have that tiger striped.
Yeah. I always call it when you bring it out and you open it up and lay it down, the inside's white, it looks like a zombie. I said, look at these zombie fingers here, man.
Yeah.
So Gene says, do you use dye in your bologna? Red dye in your bologna?
No. Nope. We don't make, it's not ring bologna that we're making, and it sure as hell ain't Oscar Mayer. So there's no dyes or anything in it. So it's just in a regular what are those 2.5, 3 pound casing, the 3 inchers. Mm-hmm. So this year I usually do them out on my grill is how I finish them. Well, I quit doing that this year because first of all, it was 16 below and I didn't want to stand out on the grill.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I did it in the oven and it worked out really good. So
do you notice any difference in temperature when you smoke stuff when it's like super cold, or let's say it was 30 degrees, or if it's like you say 16 below, you notice any difference in your smoking?
If I was going for heat, I would. But the thing is, all I need is smoke flavor. So I'm cold smoking everything. So even this year, as cold as it was, I think the inside of that smokehouse, my buddy hit it with the heat gun, and the walls were only 28 degrees, and the sausage itself was only 40 degrees. So,
I mean, is there anything cooler than when you're smoking sausage and the smoke's rolling and you look out and freaking the snow is like piled up on top of your smoker yet, right? And the smoke's coming out and you're like, this is freaking awesome, man. I don't know why. I've always thought that was freaking cool for whatever reason. But,
I kind of geek out when I get around smokehouses because it's kind of my thing. I just enjoy them, It's not much of an art, but it makes me feel like it's an art when you're out there playing.
I mean, I would disagree with you a little, Brian. It is. I mean, until you get it dialed in, it takes. If you like, I smoke all my buddies' meat, and man, when I first did, compared to when I first did it to what I do it now, I mean, I got it down. So with my particular smokehouse, I got it down perfect. How much, the chips I want in there, how I started, and I can look at the chimney on the top. I say chimney, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And the vent, and I'm just like, all right, now start right now. In 2 hours, we're done.
Yep.
2 hours, some of the guys, 2 hours. And I'm like, just sit over there and shut up and have a beer and don't worry about it. And don't tell me you want it for an hour and 10 minutes and whatever. We're just going 2 hours. Yeah, Kelsey is definitely an art, brother. All right, Brian. I'll tell you what, Brian, we're going to hit our first ad here.
Okay.
We're going to do our big three. We got big three, or we got our big three now. I can't even remember. We're getting so many people advertising with us. I appreciate it. Not only that, they're sponsoring the Brain Bucket Challenge too. So, all right,
nice.
We're going to do our big three right here. We'll be back. Don't even go take a whiz. Just hang out and watch the commercials because Deacon's did an awesome job on these. We'll be right back.
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck, Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Anvil brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Like Michael, the flow like Aubrey. Walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in. Know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink cop.
All right, we're back. 701 Nation. JD here. Got a special guest tonight, Brian Wanner. Brian, appreciate you on talking some sausage and guns tonight. What do you got there? I say it looks like.
So Gene was asking about bologna if I use dye in it. That's actually what my bologna looks like.
Oh,
okay,
man,
how do I get
awesome,
that to where you could see it?
Awesome.
So that's the bologna. Okay.
So how long do you smoke that bologna to get it done, Brian?
Well, hang on now.
Okay.
This is summer sausage. It ain't
Okay,
summer sausage unless you can see mustard seeds and pepper. Just saying.
I mean, the bologna looks like it's a little more packed in and tight. Did you grind it different, or is it the same?
No, it's ground about the same. It's just the fact that you don't. There's a little different stuff that goes into the bologna. So bologna uses tender quick and things like that. So.
Well, if you come up for the brain bucket, go ahead and bring some of that. I'm not.
Oh yeah, I'll bring some. You gotta try.
Okay. Kelsey asked in that commercial if that was me rapping at triple speed.
The way way we always used to do that is we would smoke it, and then we would cook it in water. Well, I'm not cooking it in water now. I used to smoke it on my grill, and then that took about 4 hours to get it up to temperature, and it took about 3.5 hours in the oven. So I didn't really have any smoke on this time, just cooked it in the oven. It worked out. So, but next year, if I'm going to do it in the oven, I'll put it in the smokehouse and cold smoke it again too before I cook it.
Awesome.
Yep.
So we got, let's see here. Lyndon Lanzanita says you can never beat sausage and guns. Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's like I said, that's the foundations of America right there. Gene Cox is nice chunks of meat there. Absolutely, they are. Love that. So, I had a question for you about something else here. It's going to come back to me, but
I got to meet Gene. I went down to the Baker Wild Game Feed, so I seen Gene there, and I went up and introduced myself to him. We chatted a little bit.
Did you guys win anything?
I didn't win anything. I don't know if Gene did or not, but they were nice enough to give me a couple of coffee mugs, though, so that's good.
Yeah, I love coffee, man.
Right?
I always thought about opening a coffee shop too, like freaking 2A coffee or something, right? Is that cheesy?
I don't imagine it wouldn't work. I mean, hell, there's a coffee shop on every corner. You got to wait in line at every one of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're lined up forever. Gene Cox says, I'm used to the candy apple red ring bologna in dyed water bath. Yeah,
Dad made that at the shop.
Well, yeah, I know if you ever heard this, Brian, my mom would just say a loaf of bread and a ring of red. That you can live off that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gene says, I never win anything. One of the coolest things ever, I was over at the Mandan at Friends NRA banquet one year, Brian, and Darren Mund was up, and he said, I never win anything. And I said, give me your money, I'll buy a ticket. And I said, you'll win a gun. And he laughed at me, and I just like stone faced. I'm like, does it look like I'm laughing? No. And then he gave me the money, and honest to God, the first number they called, it was me. And I looked over at Darren, and his mouth was wide open. I'm like, here's your ticket. Go get your gun. And he was just like, I don't know how I kept a straight face, but I did. I made it look like it's no thing for me. But inside, I was like, holy shit, I actually won one.
If it works, it works, right?
Right. So you ready to talk about a little gun action? Should we talk some gun shit? All right. So, hey, you guys don't talk. By no means are we done talking about sausage. You guys got anything you want to add? But let's start out with a real good feel-good story here, Brian, a real short one. Report from the National Shooting Sports Foundation shows the number of firearms in civilians possessed topped. This is in 2022, right? Because you've always heard 300 million firearms, right? How many do you think 3 years ago do you think the number topped? Did they take your guess?
Oh, 3 million.
No, 490 million. That was in 2022, and we've been buying. I mean, it's been $1 million a month ever since Uncle Joe is in there.
Right.
And so, yeah, the estimated number of, and it's a little more than that. The estimated number of firearms in civilian possession is 491.3 million. So I'm feeling good about that for the most part, right? I mean,
so now is that actually from surveys, or is that Form 4473 numbers, or what is that?
Yeah, that's what it's. I'm almost positive that's what it's from. So I mean, it's probably more than that, really. Then, right?
I would think, yeah, because we've probably all done it where you bought more than one on one form.
Yeah. No, I've only ever just. I just. So they say more than 10 million firearms were domestically produced, in the U.S. in 2022 alone. So that's man. It seems like it'd be more than that to me, actually, right? Just made here, 10 million. But I mean, we do. I mean, you think like Beretta, and I mean, there's no Tika. They're. I mean, they're pretty popular. What's the handguns everybody shoots?
Glocks.
Well, yeah, some of them are made in Georgia, but the Springfield Armory, those are all made in one of the Baltics. So a lot of them are imported.
Yep.
So what do you think? What do you think dominates the market? Handguns, rifles, or shotguns?
I would think handguns.
Yeah. Yep. Handguns dominate it. I'll give you the numbers here. 9,873,136 were handguns. 4,195,192 were rifles. So I mean, handguns almost double them, right? And I think a lot of people just own a handgun to to leave in their house, protect their house, and as a defensive weapon, right? And shotguns. I thought shotguns would fare better than this. 1,977,583. To me, Brian, maybe you see what you think. If you're just gonna buy something to protect your house, would you have a handgun or a shotgun?
Myself, I'd have a shotgun.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
If that's the only thing I could afford, that's what I would have.
And I mean, shotguns, you can buy a cheap shotgun pump, I mean, for less than $250 probably now. I mean, now that Trump's in and everybody's not worried about their gun rights getting freaking kneecapped, their prices are going to come down. So if I hate to say this to our gun sponsors, but if you're going to buy something, give it a couple months. You're probably going to give it a little cheaper than, Mm-hmm.
And the good thing about a shotgun, I always say that even if they don't speak English, they understand 870.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So, I mean, have you ever shot, just like messed around with shooting stuff? Within let's just say it like 30 yards and in with a shotgun. If you get hit, I mean, there's other than maybe birdshot. I mean, birdshot will mess your ass up too with that, but.
Yeah. It's going to hurt regardless.
Yeah, if you're using
leave a hell of a mark.
Yeah, if you're using buckshot or a slug for sure, you are done for. Hey, there's Art right there. Good program.
Yeah, there's Dad.
Yeah. Hey, Art, thanks for jumping in. I told Brian I thought you were in the house. I was like, I forgot all about Art coming on because I said it's been about a year. You guys are my second or third guests on 701 Nation, and that was a damn good show, actually. Yeah. Let's see here. Kelsey says, I made a couple of those bad boys myself. Gene Cox, shotguns for self-defense. Better know a good guy, a good drywall guy.
Right.
Yeah. Axe did a drywall test. Yeah. He's got even a 410, man. He's got this 410. He got an NRA banquet. We want to do a test on that because I was shocked that even a 410, and it was like 25 yards. I was pretty surprised at how much power that baby had. So Brian's involved with the slope rifle and pistol area gun range, right? And you got a banquet coming up, but there's a range that's probably bringing in a little more money than cost than your guys' did, Brian, right? We were going to talk about here.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys are doing this kind of your range this would be good for you, right? Yeah. So in West Virginia, they got a highly anticipated climate-controlled indoor shooting range and training facility, more aptly described as a country club for fire. Guntry, right? That's what they call it, Guntry, so like a gun country club.
Yeah.
It's opening soon. 50,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility is overlooking the highlands in West Virginia. So what do you think you guys' square footage is in your guys' clubhouse there at the...
If we had a clubhouse, it'd be...
Oh, you don't even go?
No, we've got an indoor shooting canopy and we got a couple of shops, but we have nothing indoor.
Okay. So Guntry is being touted as a unique and exciting new business, only the second of its kind in the nation. She's right. The other one I sent you that link was in Maryland, which was odd to me, right? In Maryland, big anti-gun state, and they got a Guntry club there. Maybe that's where all the right wingers hang out, and maybe
and let's face it, it's kind of a snob gun club, right? So
yeah. Well, when you get the VIP numbers there, and we looked at, so yeah. So according, I was giving Brian a little shot about the money, but the facility, $14 million investment in Ohio County here in West Virginia, but it's open to the public, but will offer several different membership packages. It says yet to be announced, but I looked them up. Amenities to include a firearm pro shop, 18 25-yard and 4 100-yard ranges with $1 million ventilation. 18, so like pistols right there, right? We were just talking pistols.
Yep.
So you got 18 pistols and 25 yards realistically, unless you're like Dan Brown, 25 yards. I mean, you can shoot that over his shoulder like Danny. We'll call him Danny Oakley. Yeah, I mean, 25 yards. I mean, if I set up a water jug at 25 yards and hit it with my handgun, I'm like, yeah, you see that shit, boys?
Yeah.
You bet.
It is kind of crazy, though, that they've got 400-yard lanes.
Right, indoors.
You know? That's a hell of a building.
I would love to have a 100-yard indoor range in Bismarck because them days when it's cold, we were just talking about smoking meat and 16 below and 18 below.
Yep.
Yeah, if I ever win the Powerball, there's definitely going to be one going up. I don't know what I'll call it, 701 Nation range or some shit. But I'll definitely put one up there because I would love. And these guys got this country. They got a restaurant, right? Is that what they said? They got which I thought would be cool. I mean, obviously you can't go suck a few down and like you do in your buddies' range. You're going to have a few beers and then go shooting. I mean, I'm sure that's against the rules there, but that's cool. They got a pro shop and a restaurant, full service. It says right, and the idea of this, they say, is to promote gun safety, responsible gun ownership, firearms training for ages 10 through 90. Whether you have never fired a gun or whether it's something you've done all your life, which is true, man. Shooting never gets old, right? And I love the idea. An indoor range in the winter, there's nothing to do, right? Brian, you had kids, it's freezing cold, you sitting around, it'd be fun to do. Is he's like, hey, I tell you what, let's head to country, and they got archery in there too, right? You can do some archery, 3D moving targets, even they got here at this place. And on staff armor, offering firearm upgrades, repair and maintenance, tactical simulators. I mean, the restaurant's kind of small, 48 seat, full service. We got to bump that up to like 100 at least, right? Because I mean, gun nuts are gonna patronize that place whether they're shooting or not, right? I would.
You would think, but I think he'd probably get more use out of more shooting space than he would out of eating space. I would hope.
Well, they got a golf simulator in there too.
Yeah.
This place, see, now you got something to shoot for out there at the slope.
Right. Well, right. What I wonder is, where does the endowment come from? Somebody had to kick back some huge coin to make that work, because the problem around here is you put it together and you can put something up, but then what happens down the road? The city going to take care of it?
Right. Well, I mean, that kind of happened here with Huff Hills and Bismarck. I mean, the city of Mandan was going to buy it out. I don't think they ever did, but so additionally, Gundry will offer concealed carry courses, self-defense training, including cutting-edge training facility to assist with law enforcement. So yeah, the law enforcement thing's kind of cool too. They can practice these, officers serving a warrant, doing a drug search with a dog on a car and traffic stops. They can do it all in 70 degrees, Brian, instead of which, hey, they'd be like, well, that ain't real world scenarios, right? But you can get your shit down, right? How to do it the correct way. And then when it comes to, to doing it in the real world, at least you've done it a few times. We'll catch up on a couple of these comments here. Gene says, I keep number 4 buckshot in the 1187. The 3-inch shell has 41 pellets. That will shred a melon at 20 yards. Oh, yeah, I love that. I mean, and I love nothing more than shooting watermelons. And if jugs come in a close second, but shooting watermelons is freaking great. Have you ever been to the Bismarck Rifle Club indoor range? It's across. I haven't, Gene. I've seen pictures. I think Josh Patterson might go there quite a bit, but
we've shot Dan. I know Dan still goes down there quite a bit. I haven't been down there for a while, but we used to get down and shoot USPSA down there all the time.
So it looks like a nice place. In person, what's it like?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I think those are 25-yard lanes too, and I want to say they have 10 of them, maybe 12. And then they've got, of course, it's double doored, so you got your quiet room out in the end. They got a classroom in it and stuff like that. There's a little kitchen there. And,
nice.
It's a neat place.
Kind of a mini country.
Yep. Yeah, way mini. But you can take the parking lot, the building, and everything, and you still ain't got the square footage they do. But
so let's talk a little. Speaking of gun, let's go over some prices here, Brian, real quick. Because it's right, $14 million, and you and I were kind of joking about the cost. So public access, which I was kind of surprised. It seems you can compare this to what you know about if you've shot some indoor stuff. And I know we got the personal defense center here in Bismarck. I've never been there. Clayton has, but range fees 25 yards for an 25-yard range for an hour with your pistol. $14 for a second person on the same lane. I mean, seems fairly reasonable to me. What do you think?
That's not bad.
Right. Okay. Then they got the 400-yard rifle ones, and that's $50 and only $25 for your second person on the same lane. Yeah, it seems fair. Seems okay. Seems fair to me. Gun transfers. If you're from the public, they got their FFL. $50, which is, I mean, I think some FFLs in Bismarck and Mandan charge more than that now, even actually. And let's see here. Okay, parking. Oh, hey, parking's free, man. They don't even charge you for parking, so you got that going for you. All right, let's do some membership, right? Let's see here. Membership. Let's go with the. They got a big lineup of these memberships. I'm not going to bore you guys too long with this. It's just VIP member. Let's see here. Hold on. They're way at the bottom. Here we go. No. All right. Here we go. Individual. What do you think a 1-year individual membership is going to cost you at Gundry, Brian?
For the VIP?
Nope, just your individual.
$2,000.
Nope, $594.
It's not bad.
Joint membership, if you, Mom, and Joe wanted to get one, $924. So you're getting a little off there, right? Family membership, which includes up to 4, that's $1,144. The VIP, you know, which I'd like to get, but there's no way I could afford it, $2,800 annually. And of course, the big one we were talking about here, the corporate membership. Like, who do you work for? West Dakota Energy. What's it called?
ND Energy Services.
ND. By the way, I appreciate you guys keeping gas in my car and getting that oil out of the ground. In fact, keeping myself with oils and everything, man. I love it. If you don't think it is, you're delusional. Corporate membership for Brian and the rest of the boys, keeping our cars running, $4,500 if the corporate gets you one.
Well, I'm not going to bet that's going to happen.
Me either. But if Gundry ever shows up in Stark County, man, you can start lobbying your boss for it, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So let's talk a little bit your slope area rifle and pistol. You said you got your banquet coming up here on the 7th, right? It says
yep.
Social starts at 5:30.
Yep.
And supper's at 6:30. It says $30 for the supper, right? Is that what you guys got?
Yep. And you can pay if you decide you want to become a member, you can pay your membership that night. The only thing is we're trying to, you always got to try to figure out how to get people to RSVP to these things, so you know how many plates you're actually supposed to buy.
Yeah.
And that's always a struggle, but we usually do pretty good. I mean, we're around somewhere usually 100 to 200 members, somewhere in that range, and I think we probably get 85 on a good banquet night, which is it's not
bad.
too terrible. No.
And kids under 12 eat free, says, right?
Yep.
Dinner free, chips are free.
Dinner,
I said it backwards. I said Paradiso, yeah.
But we always give away a firearm to kids. Like a cricket or a rascal, or what do you guys? Yeah, they get some cool stuff. They had they had one of the little Ruger Precision 22s. They had little AR style 22s and stuff like that we've had.
Awesome.
Zach Rodney from Dakota Rifle Works, we'll give him a shameless plug.
Yeah, by all means.
He usually helps us out on that. He'll get us, either help us get the gun, he'll scope it for us, or do something, but they're all real good. And then runnings, of course, is always huge to us as far as helping.
Yeah.
They give us good deals on the firearms we give away. They give us, they've just been really good to us.
How many Freedom rods and hand cannons you guys
got there then? 4 that are in our main drawing, and then there'll probably be some silent auction type stuff for a couple more the night of the event. And then of course the kids' gun.
Yep. What's so if you wanted to be a member there at Slope Rifle and Pistol, what does that cost you?
It's $100 a year for a family membership, or $80 a year for a single.
So slightly less than Gundry.
Just a bit, but you're going to have to put up with the wind.
That'll make you a better shooter.
But on a side note, we do have we're cut out to 400 yards on our range, which is pretty decent for ranges.
That's good. That is good. Good.
Yeah, we're not 1,200 yards like Moffett or anything like that, but 400 yards is pretty good.
I mean, realistically, the vast majority of people ain't shooting past 400.
Agreed.
And I mean, especially if you got an AR, I mean, like if you're shooting coyotes or something, really a 16-inch barrel on an AR lethal range, Yeah, I mean, most people would shoot farther, but 400 yards is,
Yep.
Josh says, I go to the Personal Defense Center, never been to the other one. Okay. And Personal Defense, that's on Airport Road. I bought a can there years ago. I can't remember the guy's name who runs, a good guy, Nick Couture. He used to do some stuff with Friends NRA.
Dan used
Kelsey,
to go there all the time and shoot IDP, defense pistol there. He'd do matches there all the time. Yep.
Kelsey says, just a nice aside. 3 days ago, Thomas Massey introduced HR 645, the National Constitutional Carry Act. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of optimistic this might pass the Senate because a lot of these Democrats in the Senate who are elected, they're going to be up for election. These states that they voted for Trump and these are Democrat senators, and they're like, if Trump puts something, because Trump said he'll sign it, man. Just like he said, you get another the Hearing Protection Act gets in there. He said, bring it, man, bring it. His boy's got in his ear, and Trump's definitely. I mean, he's on our team now. Right up there with when we're talking prices. I think Kelsey says Bills. I think that's an indoor range in Fargo, North Fargo, something maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I just seen them online, but Kelsey, if I'm wrong, let me know which one you're doing. Gene says Moffett is a nice. Yeah, I've been to Moffett. Moffett range is nice cover. Got that nice pistol range at the buildings, and they got the clubhouse there and do 1,000. Yeah, it's steel everywhere. I love that. That's cool about it. Josh says, can you go out and shoot any time with a membership, Brian?
Yes, you can, as long as it's daylight hours. Yeah, Joe's actually the secretary of the club.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm sorry I missed that. Yep.
She would be the one that would probably correct me if I was wrong anyways. But, yeah, anytime during the daylight hours, one of our members, Jerry's his name, he keeps up a calendar because we do always have law enforcement, the Dickinson Police Department, the Dunn County Sheriff's Department, and I think that's it other than the BCI. There's a few different outfits, or the Drug Task Force. They use it for some trainings, and then they'll block out days. And usually there's enough advance in the calendar where if you check the calendar, you can go out there. And so you don't get out there and there's 50 cop cars out there, because it happens. And if they didn't reserve it, I don't care. But if they didn't reserve it, I don't care how many cop cars are there. I go out and shoot because I'm a paid member too. So they'll
honestly,
we work right alongside of them.
Most of the cops I've ever met are pro gun guys anyways.
And Dunn County, most of their officers are members too. So even though there may be a cop car there, it may just be somebody out there doing his own practicing, So
Yep. All right, we're gonna hit a few comments, and we're gonna hit our big commercial break here. So Cal says North Fargo. Mama Joe says you receive a card with the code daytime hours only. I wanted to come there and shoot some tracers, man. I'm not joining now.
Yeah, can't do that. No tracer rounds. Dunn County's funny because we go from snow to a burn ban within about 18 hours every year.
Right. Yeah. I'm fully aware. Our ranch in Mercer County, I mean, pretty much same droughted out and stuff all the time. And we had one more comment here I was going to get back to. Josh Patterson says Paul Hammers with ricochet gun works, done the IDP matches.
Yep.
He changed them. He changed them now. They are concealed carry weapon workshops. They are fun and educational, and Paul is a master IDPA. Kelsey says Bills and triple RMC in Fargo and West Fargo. Okay. I was bang on Fargo, man, but it went like 60% for Trump, which is awesome. I love that. Josh says, right on. I know some people up in Killdeer that were looking for a place to shoot rifles up there. Yeah. Awesome. All right, we're going to do our big ad here. And then when we come back, you got any more sausage stuff? Because I got a couple more. Should we talk some Zuck when we come back here?
We can talk whatever you want, Jamie. I'm game for anything.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of a little more on Zuck's wagon. Maybe I'm just so hopeful that he's actually coming over to our side a little more, but.
Trust but verify. That's what I say.
So we're going to do our big ad. We're going to come back. Let's do it, Brian. Let's talk about Zuck's interview with Joe Rogan. And we're going to talk about this Chuck Rossi who got back on board with Meta. I mean, this might give you guys a little hope. It made me and Brian feel a little better about some things, but we'll see. We'll be right back, everybody. First, I'll tell you what, I'm going to run our new sponsor first, then I'm going to do the other one. So if you get a little glitch in there, a little max headroom. That's what's going to be hanging.
At Horton Lasercraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck, Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
Anvil Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yeah, hey, look, I got the moves like Michael, the flow like Aubrey. Walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in, know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink cop.
All right, we're back. JD here, 701 Nation. Got my guest, Brian Wanner, out there in Stark County, Dickinson. Talking a little Wurst Shop. We're talking a little slope rifle and pistol range there. Brian.
SARPC, it's right there.
There you go. Sweet. So Josh wants to know, do you guys have a website or Facebook page for the range, Brian?
Yep, Mama Joe put them on there, I believe, in the comments upline a little bit.
Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. She's sorry. Not sure why a double. Okay. All right. Got you on there. Kelsey says Zuckman has been hanging out with actual men and it's showing higher T levels, strong attraction to tatas and MMA training. The more masculine the man, the more right he tends to lean. I can't disagree with that, right?
He was leaning left when he was looking at Bezos' girlfriend.
He was leaning left when he was doing that, wasn't he? So before we get into more Zuck, which I'm looking forward to, Brian, I do have so like when you made your summer sausage, do you give it a water bath when you pull it out of the smoker then?
Yep. You want it to stop cooking. So
okay.
And that's just, your fats start to break down in your meats if you get too high on them, and then your sausage gets really dry and crumbly. So you got to stop it from cooking. Once you hit that 150 to 155 in the center temperature, to just dump it into a cold water sink. So I don't put ice water in it. I just put it in a cold water sink.
So I've always been told when you get to that, then you go another hour, but you actually get to 155, 160, and then you put it in the water right then.
Pull her out and put her in the water. It's done. Yep.
So does that make this when you cut a summer sausage, you can just pull that the casing right off? Does that help with that too?
Yep. Once it cools, when it's warm, usually it'll stick to it, and then usually once it's cooled, and that initial, you're right, that water bath that kind of shrinks that meat right inside. Yep. So
that's where it gets the rails in there.
Yep. And then you get that little kind of a rind around it inside of the casing. All summer sausage has kind of that ring that's a little bit stiffer on the outside.
Yep.
As soon as you got that, then the casing comes right off.
How long do you leave it in the water then, you think?
10-15 minutes, just so it's
that's it. Okay, well, I've been doing it too long when I do it.
Yeah, you can leave it in there longer. It's not going to hurt it. All it does is cool it. I just like it to cool slow, and a lot of that was because on the smoker, it seemed like the heat was more intense in different places, right?
Yep.
So I would bring it out. If I cooled it too fast, I'd get some of them would split. And I don't know if that was the casings or if it was just the fact that it was cooling too fast. So I would get them to stop cooking and then just let them sit room temperature to cool. And then usually they go into my garage overnight because I got my heater on, but it's only like 40 degrees.
Yeah, I always turn mine down to 40.
Yep, and they cool overnight, and then the next day I can take them and I can, shrink or cryovac them without having nothing spoils on me that way,
So you do that with the bologna too? You give it the water?
Yep, exact same thing. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, smokers. I mean, my neighbor guy, super freaking one of the handiest guys I've ever met. Helped me out with a ton. Even his smoker, man, he's got like this super sealed stainless steel.
Yeah.
And even that's got hot spots in it. There's no getting around it. But
yeah, the actual cold smoke, you get even where your firebox is, anything closer to your firebox, you get more intense heat there than you do anywhere else. It's the nature of the beast.
You do a lot of cold smoking?
That's all I do for smoking.
Really? Okay.
Yep. That's all cold smoking, except for when I use that Bradley for making those Slim Jims now. That's obviously heat then. But
so, like, a lot of people, like, is this what you like, preheat your smoker? You do that? Like if it's heat, like I got, right. Everybody told me.
Not for cold smoking.
I don't even do it I just get the initial time I do it. I will tell you, Brian, I run that sucker a little in once I get like 120, I'll load it. I mean, you open the freaking door, it's so big and all the.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I don't. You know, I do this for this long and then do another 20. I used to do that. I don't anymore. And I tell you what, the smoke is freaking. I'm not trying to brag, but I mean, the smoke tastes great.
I'll tell you, it's kind of like aging your deer meat. You can let your deer hang for a week, and I don't really know the difference between a deer that hung a week and one that you cut up the day you shot it. I don't notice the difference. Beef, it makes a big difference in beef.
Right.
But I've never noticed it in deer.
Well, you do it with a deer, you just got to cut more meat off and lose more meat because it's all green and yellow. And
not only that, you grind it. It can hang for 3-4 days. You grind it, and it's still half water. You ever notice that? Your deer meat's always watery.
Right. Yeah, because there's no getting. I don't know. There's no getting. Well, I mean, like bodies are made up mostly of water. So, Right.
Yep.
All right. So we got Kelsey says Zuck has been hanging around with actual men, and it's showing. Okay. All right. Never mind. I got that one. I just wanted to read it again. He says the male chip has been implanted into Mark Zuckerberg successfully after the beta test failed miserably. I mean, he even lost like his school shooter eyes. You know what I mean? He used to have like them glazed over, like weird freaking eyes, like a bunch
bell
of
tower crazy shit look.
Okay. I see. Yeah, I seen Joe put the www.slopeareariflepistolclub.com. That's a website there. Yep. Josh saw it. He said, perfect. Thank you. Yep. You're welcome. Let me know if you have any other questions. Jamie knows how to get a hold. Yes, I do. I got you guys a number. Josh says sounds good. So let's talk a little Zuck, right? Okay. Let's talk about his interview with Joe Rogan there first, Brian, because we all saw the highlights, and I saw the highlights, and then actually last weekend I jumped on with our buddy Scott Bachmeyer there, and we kind of talked about that a little bit, and so I was like, all right, I saw the clip of it, right? I'm gonna go on and listen to the show, and I listened to like the first couple hours. It's like a 2 hour and 35-minute podcast, right? I mean, the only podcast I would ever listen to that long would be 701 Nation or Guns in the 701, but maybe I'm a little biased. But I got on there and listened to it, and we talked a little bit before the show, and you did too. So I mean, give me your takeaway from what you got from that. Like you called it a bow and arrow, and who trained him, and I mean, what did you think of that? Do you think he was legit, or was he making shit up, or what do you think?
I don't know if he's making stuff up as much as he's just trying to fit a narrative. You know, I mean, he's a businessman. He knows how to sell his product, and he knows that right now, obviously, there's a group of people that he's not tending to very well until he changes what he's doing, or at least what he says. Now, for my money, as long as he changes what he does, I don't have so much of an issue with that. He's already changed what he says, but I just want to see him change what he does. You know, and there's still, you know, I can't remember who it was that we were talking about. It was just last week, I think. Somebody got banned again on Facebook for something. And it was a gun related comment or some damn thing, or, you know, somebody brought up a raffle or something that they're having, and it, you know, and then they got banned right away. And I don't know necessarily if all that crap falls into where he's talking with his, you know, he's going to stop with the fact.
I don't even know if he's aware of that, to be honest with you.
I don't know, but hey, the buck stops with the boss, right? I mean, he should be the guy that does know if that's the case. You know, especially if you're going to go on Rogan, probably the most viewed podcast. I mean, aside from 701 Nation and Guns in the 701, probably the most viewed podcast.
And these other good Coley on the wall. These guys are keep looking at me. And I look in the mirror, I see them guys back there. You know?
But you know, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. If he'll actually come around, and because free speech, I believe in 100%, but I got you free listening too, right? So if I don't want to listen to what Zuckerberg's selling, I just go somewhere else. That's my right too. I don't have to talk here.
Do you kind of agree with Kelsey that Zuck's kind of getting red pilled here, and he's doing his thing, and because he quit eating, he's eating like beef fat and everything now, and he's doing the MMA, and he actually owned a ranch. I didn't know that. He owns a freaking ranch, right? And I mean, that doesn't necessarily make you a big Trump guy, but I mean, I don't know that. And then he's killing stuff on the ranch. He said most of the time it's like his boys working for him that are doing the killing, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of
There's
go with
hope.
what Kelsey said. I think right. I'm not saying he's gonna, but I think I do. I mean, I noticed that he just his tone and his look and everything, and some of the things he did. I mean, do I ever think he's going to be like you and me or Kelsey or Josh or Gene? No, I don't think he's going to be that way. And I certainly don't even think President Trump's going to be a big Second Amendment gun guy like we are. But that doesn't mean he can't support it. And I'm not going to give him the Leonidas into the pit chest kick here until, I'm going to give him a chance, right?
I don't really want anybody to be who we are. I just want them to leave us alone so we can be who we are.
Right. You don't have to do what we do. You have to respect the reality of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, which, like I said, I think he is going that way. He manages so many people that I don't know that, like I said, I don't know that he even knows about it. And then people, so like some of the biggest criticisms I heard about him talking about, he called it a bow and arrow, which I thought was pretty
it's a little goofy.
Right. And they didn't know what kind of bow he had, right? He's like, I don't know. And Rogan's like, is it new? He said, yeah, I bought it a couple years ago. And he goes, he admitted he's not like he does it all the time. Right. And honestly, Brian, I know guys who own AR-15s and thousands and thousands of rounds of ammo. They don't even know what kind of goddamn AR they got. You know what I mean? In their lifetime. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to give them a break on. I mean, because these guys they do own businesses, multiple. They just they like it, but it's not that important. It's not like their main focus. I mean, if you ask our governor what kind of gun he's got, he'll tell you everything about it, and probably what the triggers. But I mean, Kelly's a rare governor in that way. We need more like that. But
I talked to Zuckerberg about software, and I'm going to sound like an idiot standing by.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right. And he did say if you watch the whole interview, he did say, "Hey, I apologize. I don't know what it is. I'm embarrassed. I don't know. I should know. I don't." And he said he definitely kills them more with a rifle, right? But he said most of the time his security guards are, they go out and do it. And he said, I go out with my kids and I teach them, we got to manage the herd, which I did like when he said that, right? He said, you got to manage them and they get out of control on his ranch is in Hawaii. If you're curious, Hawaiian rancher. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of weird. Right. When you're a freaking billionaire, you can get a ranch in Hawaii. It's always nicer. Right. The grass is always green, right? You don't worry about droughts. But he said, he did that. I mean, like I said, I'm not letting him off the hook, but I'm going to give him a little break, and then I'm going to read a couple of comments, and I'm going to get to this other thing here that me and you, I sent you the link that would kind of give us a little more hope here. Yeah. Kelsey said, I still get shadow banned on Facebook. Right. And I don't know that his change is like in full effect yet, Brian. I don't know how long it was going to take to do this or what. I mean, he didn't say
I don't know what his implementation time. I have no idea. All I've heard is him talk about it. I haven't really seen anything.
Right. Kelsey said he's still a nerd, which he is. There's no doubt. Unfortunately, right. I mean, they're just nerdy people, man. He looks like one. I don't care if he did win his UFC match or whatever. What was it he went in? Not a UFC, but what are
some kind of MMA, whatever it was.
What do all these guys do? Like Jocko, what's their main thing they always do? Their wrestling, fighting style.
Jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, I mean, I bet if I punched him in the face, he'd probably drop. But maybe not. He might kick my ass in 2 seconds.
I'm going to say I would hope he would, because to get up and kick your ass, you're really going to feel.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in high school, these guys said I wasn't a wrestler, and I freaking pinned a couple of them, and they were just like, "What?" Because I'm definitely. You saw me. I don't have a wrestler's body, but it's his new friends that you look at. Right. And is he kissing Trump's ass? Probably, because he said in the thing, right? Biden threatened him, and he was like I think the guy was. He wasn't he's not an alpha male, and Biden had his people call him and threaten him, and the guy was probably shitting his pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't, because he's probably like, either you're going to do this or the IRS is going to come in and you're going to be in jail. That pretty sweet ass here's going to be in jail there, and then poppy eyes are really going to get poppy. So, I mean, I'm not. Let's get on. Let's get to this guy here, Brian. Chuck Rossi. You go, who? Like Rozzy lever actions or something? Nah, he's got the
Spelled
same
the same.
name. Right, spelled the same. He was a prominent figure in Meta's early development and has announced his return to the company along with Dana White, right? I mean, it doesn't get more alpha than Dana, right? And you know Dana White's got to have some freaking heavy gun guys around him.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, Elon's even out there shooting the 50 from the hip, which is pretty. I didn't know he was that strong, but 50's heavy to me. But I mean, I'm a little scrawny guy compared to you. So, so this guy addressed significant challenges in content moderation issues that have frustrated both users and businesses for years. Right? So this Rozzy guy, Chuck Rozzy, joined Facebook and now Meta in 2008 and quickly became an integral part of the company. He was there for 11 years, and when he left, which is 2018, is when most of this shit started happening, right? So this guy he obviously had a big influence on Zuck, right?
Yep.
And they say here, particularly on posts related to regulated goods, including firearms, which he specifically mentioned that, right? That he thought firearms companies were getting stiffed in this whole, like I said, I don't want to go through this whole article, but he definitely says he has big concerns over their false positives right here. This issue is especially acute for industries like firearms, which often find themselves in a constant battle with the platform's automated systems, which happened to us. They, if you keep doing this, your page is unpublished, or they did it to our original page.
Yep.
They claimed Clayton and I were dealing firearms. We weren't going against their then they did unpublish us. So we just ended it and we had to start over. And hopefully, this guy recognized that, though, you know what I mean? And Zuck hired the dude back for that. So there's some promise there. Is it going to go our way? Man, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because Facebook's, whether people like it or not, fascist book, whatever you want to call it, right? People go here. I like their platform. I enjoy it. I mean, it's easily the biggest thing I can keep in contact with old friends or my relatives or anything. Right?
Yeah.
If you go on X, I love X. We're on X. I have my own personal account. But X is like, man, X is just like so freaking political. It's just like a big political thing, right?
And I think
I don't know what
X
your
actually
thoughts are
drills
on the platforms.
X drills into your algorithms and whatever. I mean, as fast, if not faster, than even Facebook does.
Right.
Because you don't really, the people you connect with or whatever you're following on X isn't necessarily what you see when you start looking through it. But
yeah. And I guarantee you, it's happened to me personally. I got mad at whatever, some liberal, they got to post an article, and then I post something, and we took your comment down. I mean, X isn't even like, Kelsey says, I have over 5,000 folks on Facebook. I get no reach. Yeah. I mean, you're definitely getting, you're getting the banner. Yeah. Fascist book took our page down. Yeah, they did. And like I said, Clay and I just said, screw it. Just get rid of the whole goddamn thing. And this guy claims, Rozzy, that he's going to try and mine people's data back. And yeah, you know what though? Well, we had way more followers then, but a lot of them weren't even like, I mean, they were people, but they weren't people. Like Clay and I now have more people like where we want them in the Dakotas, upper Midwest. We get people, of course, we want gun people and from all over the country, but our main focus is North Dakota. And most of our people now are from North Dakota, South Dakota, I mean, I tell you, I mean, we get some, we don't get the reach we had with that many, but I mean, we haven't been banned or shadow banned or anything so far. What gets it is if like if you tag like guns or self-defense or something. I did notice that you won't get as many views on it, but that's hopefully that changes. I don't know if it's going to, but we're about to find out. We're about to find out, right?
They all want to jump on board. You see a lot of it happening. I mean, people that you never thought would be in anybody's corner anywhere close to being on the right. The Bezos, the Zuckerberg,
Bezos.
All these clowns. It's like, okay, now all of a sudden they want a place at the table.
Bezos did something there like a year ago. I can't remember what it was, but I was kind of like looking at it, going, is this guy kind of realizing something or? Maybe not.
Well, I think you
He's
should
another
buy
guy
some
that-
goddamn signs for his building in Dickinson, because that Amazon building they put up is right across from our office. And if there isn't a trailer park there that says Prime on it, there ain't one of them drivers that can realize that that's where they're supposed to turn. We had one turning around in our parking lot at work the other day. Goddamn 53-foot semi turning around with all the cars in there. He didn't hit anybody's car. I was really surprised. And the thing
Send
is,
old Bezos some email, man. We need to.
that's
You're
what
gonna
I'm
use this for
thinking.
U-turn. We're gonna charge you, and it ain't gonna be cheap. We're gonna give you the Gumtree freaking membership
Right.
price. So Kelsey says, I saw the disclaimer on Facebook for this show. Well, I'm curious. What did it say? LF. I'm curious. What did it say? I didn't see it, but I'm curious what it said. What
I think it's just the thing where it says that you post on there that you don't sell guns.
Right. All right. I didn't catch it right away. See, I'm a little slow sometimes on things. Yeah, I did get knuckle dragging right wing uneducated, you know. It's a complete freaking rockhead right here. So let's talk a little Jan 6 here. So Trump pardoned all these guys, right? Not all of them, but I mean the ones that didn't have violent.
Yep.
Right. So the one guy, we all know the QAnon shaman, right? He had the red, white, and blue, a good young guy, all buffed
buffalo
out,
hat
had the
on.
six-pack, and the right, looked like a womanizer, party boy. So his real name, Jacob Chansley, otherwise known, as I said, QAnon shaman, the shaman. Trump pardoned this guy, and he went on X and he wrote, I just got the news from my lawyer. I got a pardon, baby. Thank you, President Trump. He says, now, here's a kick right here, Brian. Now, because when he got pardoned, right, he had a felony for, not a violent felony, some jack off. Whoops, that might get us, I don't know.
Misdemeanor, felony, whatever.
Yeah, some bullshit felony here. Got that taken off. He said, no, I'm going to go buy me some mother effing guns. I love this country. God bless America. Justice, J6s are getting released and justice has come. Everything done in the dark will come to light, is what Mr. Chansley added to that. So, hey, that's freaking right. The first thing he does, he wants to buy guns because there's nothing more being more free than being able to buy guns, in my opinion.
Right. Smoking sausage and buying guns.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You eat your sausage, you look over, you got your gun right there. You're right. That's good. And they also pardoned Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, right? Oh, the Proud Boys! Oh, goddamn racist. Which, I mean, if you actually looked into it, it wasn't anything close. I mean, it was. No. I'm not getting into the whole Proud Boys thing, but yeah. So here's what he had here. This Chansley, in September 21, he pled guilty to a felony charge of obstruction of an official proceeding in a plea deal that allowed for the dismissal of 5 other charges against him. Right, and I mean, something really guilty of obstructing an official proceeding. So, I mean, that's a felony. You lose your rights. I mean, right? They make all these felonies to take away your rights. I don't agree with that kind of shit, but.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed to me like there was a lot of laws that came up over that whole deal that nobody had ever really heard of before that were, jailable offenses, I guess, if you want to say that. I'm sure there was a few knotheads there that needed something to happen to them, which they're still sitting in jail.
I mean, honestly, you watch the videos and the guys beating. I mean, there was some beating the shit out of the Capitol Police, which, all right, but maybe I don't know, they were in there for a long time. Maybe they over-sentenced them, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, so Kelsey, he figures, man, people should go to the gallows for what they did to the J6ers. They had a gallows there, actually.
Yeah, they did.
I think they had. Did you see they had a guillotine there? The leftists when Trump was doing his inauguration. Didn't hear nothing about that, right? That was. Oh yeah.
I didn't see it.
Surprised they did something the French did with the guillotine. The old liberals, the leftists.
Yeah. What the hell happened to us? When did we forget how to disagree? Back in the old days, you disagreed. It happened all the time, and everybody went about their own way. Now everybody's butthurt about something. Well,
I'm sure you probably got a relative or two that was voted for Democrats all the time, but if you talk to them, they sounded like a conservative, right?
Oh, I got friends like that. I got, and at the end of the day, I really don't care. That's their view,
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. That's what bothers me more about all the social media is just somebody's not getting their way. They start whining about something,
So Kelsey says that's a bigger discussion, brother. Hey, are you coming? We can discuss. Are you coming back for the Brain Bucket Challenge? I mentioned you earlier in the show before you were on. You were going to come up here and bring the mop and clean up, and you're going to get the barrel threading and take that kitty home. You still plan on coming up? I told you you're more than welcome to stay at my house. So let's get up here with that new AR. I think he's got look like an 18-inch stainless on that baby.
Nice.
Yeah. You got any? So if you coming up, you and Mama Joe are both going 6.5 Creed.
No, I'll be shooting my 25-06.
Okay, 25. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I have a wee little Savage.
I'll be using God's cartridge for sure.
Yep.
So, but I do have a new 6.5. I haven't. I had our sponsor down there, Bloodline. He Cerakoted it and threaded my barrel. I'm not using that. I haven't even run one round through that sucker. So
yeah.
Kelsey says Andrew Jackson, his homies took it outside with black powder. Yeah, they did. Fluted. He's got the fluted barrel too on that. Oh, he's gonna be awesome, man. I love it. You never met brother Francis, Brian?
I did. I'd never met him. No, I mean, other than just being on here,
All right, freaking awesome dude, man. When you meet him, you'll be just like you knew him for 20 years. I'll promise you that.
Well, I'm looking.
Yeah, it's his birthday. That's right. You ain't. There's no way you're at the big 5. Okay, I'm gonna guess 46 or 7. There's no way you're 50. I mean, if you are 50, there's no better way to do it than the Brain Bucket Challenge.
Yeah.
And I know he's not a big beer guy. He's what are the whiskey guy? What's bourbon? I think he's a big bourbon man. So, Hey, if you and Mama Joe don't want to drive back either, I got plenty of room here for you.
She always gets me home. She's my savior when it comes to that.
What are you guys bringing up? The full-size Nissan or the?
Probably, if she's going to be driving, she'll want to drive her little pickup. Yeah.
How's that new one treating you guys? Anyways, you got the new model there, right? The new design.
Yeah, she loves it. It's a good little pickup, and the full-size, the Titan, I love the shit out of that pickup. I like the first one I had, and
so they're merging with Honda now.
Yeah, are they really?
Yeah.
Well, they're not making a full-size pickup anymore. That's why I bought that last one.
Yeah. I talked to a guy down at Fat Kelly's inaugural ball. There is a car dealer, and I asked him. He's like, "Yeah, looks like it's happening." So,
wow. Well, it's happening everywhere. So that's the story in the oil patch right now too. Pretty quick, we'll all be working for one person.
So my wife owns a Honda and I own a Nissan, so we're merging yet again after marriage. So Kelsey says, "Give me that old Dodge 1500." Well, that's going to be our shooting platform there for the Brain Bucket, man. Right. Brian, cool that, right? Like if somebody gets a doe tag, right? I'm just headhunting this year, man. I'm going to shoot right in the head.
Yep.
So have you ever done yourself, or have you ever seen anybody just like call out a headshot and do it on a doe?
Yes.
Yourself, you did, or you just?
No, I didn't. My buddy did it. It was about 4 years ago. And
how many shots?
He did it with a 6mm. He did it one shot. It was 600 yards. He laid down prone.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
And the deer was laying down, and it was just folded it right over.
That is freaking awesome. 600, huh? Yep. 6mm like arc, or 6mm Creed, or 6mm Ram, or what was it?
It was Bill was it was his gun. It was 6mm is all I can remember. I don't know if it was an arc or what it was. I'm not sure.
Do you have the turrets or the drop reticles, or what? Or he just like held
turrets,
over?
Because he dialed it in, and he did. He jumped out of the pickup and laid down right on the approach, right alongside the road, and it was out in the stubble field, and it was a good shot.
Damn, that's a damn good. I mean, a deer head, man. I mean, it's smaller than this.
Yep.
Really?
I ain't shooting that far.
I'm not. I mean, I'm fairly confident at 600, but I mean, even if there's no wind, I'm probably not taking. I mean, So if you're going to take a headshot, give me your maximum realistic range. Like if you're driving and you're like, oh shit, there's one.
Probably 180 yards max.
All right,
I wouldn't go- I
I'm
wouldn't
with
go-
you, man. I'm saying 200.
Yeah.
I might do it at 250, but even then, I'm always afraid I'm going to blow their jaw off and they're going to run away. I'm like, oh my God, I'm an asshole. You know,
there's a lot more body down there where the heart is. Even a bad shot's gonna knock them down.
And maybe Kelsey says no green tips. No, you can use whatever ammo you want, man. We're starting out. So he's okay. We're going to give him the read 125 yards first shot. And we got the, like I said, the Firebird target, 2 3/4 inch. You got to hit that. We're going to 125 yards first. Either going to sit in the truck out the mirror or you're getting out over the hood. That's your 2 shot options. And if you hit that, we're moving it out. Man, we're going out to 200 and it's going to be the same thing. So, and you'll know when you hit them. I'm gonna post a video of Doug and I tested the Firebirds out. Of course, I was on the bench, but you know, I had a smart ass comment after I hit it, which you'll see in reels this week. But it radically, hey, unless you think you can see that sucker at 125 first shot, Kelsey, give her a go, man. But I'm definitely going scope. And it look as of right now, guys and gals, the weather's looking good. Let me give you so a week from today, Brian, you might be counting your money back there in your house, and I'm gonna go live and rub it into these guys a little bit here. I got this kitty. right. The old 25-06 went to work, boys. So next Saturday, as of right now, 39 degrees, which is beautiful. I hope that's for sure. Let's check the wind. 3 to 13 when we kick it off here. Oh yeah, I mean all the way. I mean it doesn't even hit 10 miles an hour till 240, and we're starting at 11:30. We'll be done and then eating bear and a beef or something in Dougie's garage and having a few cold ones by then. So and watching you over there, you'll be like Ted DiBiase over there counting your money. Remember the old $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase from wrestling when we were kids?
Yeah.
Goddamn wrestling video game you got in the arcade. No, you can't. No, Kelsey said pro. Nope, you can't go pro. And like I said, you're either going to sit in the truck over the mirror or you got to go over the hood, man. No proning out. This is going to be like you're driving your road hunter and you hit the skids.
Yep.
And you got to get some meat for the pot. You got to jump out and get it right away or go right over the mirror. Josh is probably right here. Josh says it'll be 20 to 30 mile per hour at axes that day. You forgot to add something at the end of that, Josh. Guaranteed, because it probably will be. If it's 5 miles an hour where you're at, it's 20 at axes because he's one of the highest points out there. Well, you pull in, and if the flag's not straight out, you can be like, "Oh yeah!" And about the time it's your time to get out and shoot, that sucker will just be snapping and tattered on the end. But that's real life, though, man. That's how we do these shooting challenges. We get a lot of shit in the comments from some people. You guys freaking suck, and I can't believe you shouldn't be shooting. You know what? That's why just come and show us how bad we are, right? It's that simple.
Right.
I've been humbled myself a few times. That's just, hey, it's that's what's fun about it, though, right?
That's right.
Real life shit. That's what we're all about here at Guns in the 70s. Real life shit. It's good. So you don't put in for the Prairie Dog Challenge down there in Selfridge, do you?
No, I never have.
Yeah, well, that's back on this year, but they're only taking 20 teams instead of 36. I know, Clayton. I think you got not long. I think the 10th or something of February to get your app in there and your team. So I know I sent Axe a few things there to make sure he did it. And Josh says, I was going to say last time was supposed to be light breeze and was blowing 20 in a different direction. Yeah, it was. It was going to be like 5 to 8 or something. And Axe's little wind thing said 10 or whatever. And I said, no, there's no way that's only 10 miles an hour. So
only fools and newcomers think they can predict the weather. So.
All right, Brian. Hey, man, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, it was fun.
for 5 minutes. Yeah, it was. I had a great time with you, brother. So, and it's not going to be on podcast. So if you recommend it to anybody, tell them they got to go watch it either, on X or on YouTube or Facebook. It's on Rumble too, so I was going to be there. So,
okay.
I actually tonight we usually transmit, whatever they want to call it, simulcast. I like 4 or 5 other things. I X'd them out just to see what we'd get. So, and Saturday night I had fun. I wasn't gonna do much anything else, but this was freaking great, man. I had got some good information. Had a great time bullshitting with you, brother. Hopefully I can see you next Saturday. Josh Patterson. Thanks, Josh. It's a great show. Appreciate that, Josh.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Josh.
everybody who got in here. And
anytime you want to bullshit, you just let me know, Jamie.
Absolutely. We got to get your dad on again. I've totally spaced that out, but we'll get your dad on because he can really get in depth on the sausage making there.
He's forgotten more than I'm gonna ever learn.
Right. Well, if you come up, bring some of that sausage up. Let's give her a sampling because I'm sure Axel will have some of his going too. So
we'll do.
But all right, Brian. Thanks again. Thanks everybody. Levi Wanner, good time. Absolutely, Levi. Thank you. And we'll catch everybody next time. Look for Brian and Mama Joe on the Brain Bucket Challenge video, which will be coming out after next weekend. So
we're open.
See you, Brian.
See you
Right on,
later,
buddy. You bet.